Good morning, Bravehearts, and good morning, Garfield, New Jersey. Welcome back to Marv in the Morning. How we doing out there, Bravehearts? How we doing out there? It's AMA Thursday. Ask Marv anything Thursday. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So welcome back. Welcome back. I got a Mondo special episode for you today, Bravehearts. Mondo special episode for you today, Bravehearts, because I'm going to kind of be discussing, young Marv. Marv going up in Patterson, New Jersey, the cradle of the Industrial Revolution. The cradle, the one-time home of the Nappy Indians, and the coolest spot on planet Earth, I believe, in my Mondo righteous opinion. So stick around for the whole episode. Timestamps will be below if you want to skip ahead to the meat and potatoes. Only if you're watching post live. If you're not watching post live, then you get to kick it with me. You get to hang with me. You get to talk in the chat. You get to get me to respond to your questions and whatnot. And you can throw any question my way today. I will answer just about anything, as long as it's cool. Just be cool, man. That's all I say. Just be cool, bro. Just be cool. I think that being cool is like, I don't know, man. It's something about cool people that makes me really cool with them. I don't know what it is. I've been trying to work out the science. Like, what is the science behind that? Like, mathematically, like, the meme with the woman with all the numbers around her face, like she's doing the Rain Man, trying to figure something out. Like, what is it about cool people, man, that makes them so cool? I've been trying to formulate this answer since the day I was born. But yeah, man, thank you for kicking it with me. If you are new to Marv in the Morning or to the Bravery Studios YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe if you like what you're hearing. Thumbs up if you like what you're hearing. Hit the notification bell if you want to continue to hear things that you like. It's an algorithm. It's an algorithm. We play by the rules here on YouTube, don't we? We definitely do. But yeah, man, welcome back. A few announcements, not as many as usual, but we have the Ladies of Bravery event happening Saturday, which is 2 days from now. There's an Eventbrite link in the description of the video if you want to get your tickets online. There's 10 online, 15 at the door. Listen, it's going to be a great night, a Mondo Righteous night, hosted by the Ladies of Bravery, Illest Girls Next Door, Spiritual Tip, No Filter Podcast. All these ladies are going to be doing their thing that night, doing their show live with an audience. And I can't wait to do it. It's our first in-house live podcast. And yeah, man, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a dope time. And, I'm hyped for it. I can't wait. We got the Christmas tree in yesterday, which is a palm tree, because Bravery Studios has to do it the Bravery Studios way. And yeah, man, it's going to be a good time. Definitely going to be a good time. So, yeah, man. Yeah, indeed. We're gonna get into the meat and potatoes, but first, we are also looking for vendors to come to our event to start vending jazz. We have a few vendors already. We have a few more spots open. So if you're interested in becoming a vendor for the Ladies of Bravery event, make sure that you reach out to me, reach out to one of the podcasts. Let me know. Make your vendor for the night. We'll make magic, baby. We'll make it happen. That's what we do here in Bravery. We make magic all the time, all day, every day. It's all we're really good at here, making magic. It's what we do, brother. It's what we do. It's what we do. The daily shout out today, since we're talking about Marv's childhood today, the daily shout out today goes out to the Mina Mendoza Show, the Queen of Spice herself, the little girl Mondo personality. We got Mina. In her podcast, her spicy podcast, where she interviews guests from many different creative avenues and lanes, and she definitely has been doing her thing since she got here. She's been on fire, on fuego, and I think she's one of the best interviewers that are here in Bravery. One of the best, for sure. And you can't help but smile like working with Mina. She's got so much positive energy, so much good vibes. She called herself an empath, and she's empathic. Is empathic a word? I don't even know. But she definitely transmits good vibes and good energy everywhere she goes. And she's got some great guests up there. Many people who I've become very close friends with that she's introduced to the studio, to Bravery Studios. And yeah, man, she's my childhood friend. She is my fifth grade. I met her in fifth grade at Catholic school, and we've been rocking and rolling ever since. She's a tremendous personality, definitely good spirits, good vibes all around. And she's been kicking ass. She's been doing her thing here with her Queen of Spice podcast, or the Mina Mendoza show. So make sure you check her out. Let me give you guys a tour of her, one of her episodes where she was getting tattooed here live in the studio. Look at this over here, getting tatted live. We had Ralph Gear in the house, tatting her. You skip ahead a little bit. You had the gear ready. Look at this. Look at that cheeky smile. And yeah, man, getting tatted live. There you go. Look at look at the facial expressions. Yeah, man. Also, here's her Instagram. If anybody wants to follow her on Instagram, check it out. Good vibes, positivity, good energy, Mondo energy, and great guest. I mean, Mina's been doing her thing. She's been rocking and rolling, and she's been on fire. She's definitely been on fire with her show. Absolutely. So yeah, daily shout out goes out to the Mina Mendoza show. You know, I hope, or I don't hope, I know Mina's gonna be doing big things. She's already doing big things. They're only gonna get bigger from here. So shout out to Mina. Extremely proud of her. Extremely proud of my kid friend that for doing her thing. And I'll tell you guys a funny story from Catholic school when me and her were in school together. We went to a Catholic school in Patterson, and listen, man, I was the prankster. I was like the class clown, right? So I was always in trouble for something, bro. I was always in trouble for something. And so we had the lunchroom where every class had lunch at the same time. It was a gigantic lunchroom, which also doubled as a gym. Everybody was in that lunchroom at the same time of day. There was no different periods for lunch. So the whole school was eating lunch at the same time. You know, you'd go up, you get your lunch, and then there was a separate table where there was like the condiments, the condiment table, where there was like ketchup, mustard, other condiments there as well, right? The ketchup and mustard were in those orange and red nozzle bottles, where, like, you know, it's like a plastic bottle. It had the nozzle. You could screw on the cap and add more ketchup, add more mustard to it. So I don't know what got into me one day, but. Oh my God. So I went up, got my lunch. Probably was a hot dog or something, because of the fact that we were putting ketchup and mustard on it. It must have been some food that goes good with ketchup and mustard, right? Get up, get my lunch, go to the condiment table, get the ketchup and mustard. But something must have got in me that day where I wanted to cause trouble, because I took the ketchup nozzle bottle and I loosened the cap. You know, it's a screw-on cap, so like you just slightly could add more ketchup to it or whatnot. But I screwed off the cap enough where it doesn't look like it's off yet, but it looks like it's still on. But it was definitely loosened up where where it'll come off. It definitely wasn't attached to the bottle anymore for as much as I unloosened it. So then the next person that comes up after me to get ketchup, I know you see where this is going already. The next person that comes up after me to the condiment table to get ketchup for whatever they were eating was Mina's cousin. I forgot her name. I don't even know if I ever even knew her name, but Mina's cousin came up right after me to put ketchup on her food. And the minute she took the bottle and flipped it over, yo, all the ketchup came out the bottle in her food. Oh man, I was definitely if you ever watch like the TV show Recess, the kid TJ, who was like the prankster king of that show, I definitely took a lot of inspiration from TJ. Her entire tray of food was just covered in a mountain of ketchup. Yo, yeah, that was my prankster days, class clown days. And yo, I don't know how she knew it was me, because it wasn't like we went to get food one right after another. This girl was also in a grade older than me, and She just, the minute the nozzle came off, all of her food was ruined with just ketchup. Yo, all of her food was just ruined with ketchup, bro. And then she just screamed my name. She was like, Marvin! Like she knew it was me. And I was like, how did she know? How did she know? Yo, what up, Commissioner Cummings? His best prank ever, bro. Yeah, man. That was probably the best day of my life. That was probably the best day of my life. Shout out to Mina's cousin. I forgot her name. But she knew it was me somehow. I was like, how did she know? I wasn't even like. It must have been like at least 3 minutes apart from me doing what I did and then her going to get the ketchup. She wasn't like right behind me in line or anything. So how did she know? I don't know. But yeah, that was the best day of my life. That was the best day of my life, bro. That was the best day of my life, bro. But yeah, me and Mina went to school together, and she just used to laugh at anything. I feel like I could say any word, and she would just ball into tears. Yo, I'm gonna give a whole shopping bag of ketchup packets. I'm gonna give a whole shopping bag of ketchup packets after that story. Give Mina all. I don't know if she even knows. I was her cousin. I did it to her cousin, so I don't even know if she knows. She probably does. She probably told her about it, but that was the best day of my life. She turned the bottle over, and you guys know exactly which ketchup nozzle thing I'm talking about, right? It's just this big red bottle, tiny nozzle, screw-on cap. The minute she flipped it over, yeah, definitely the best. That was definitely the best day of my life. Definitely the most funniest thing ever. And yo, when I went back to my lunch table, and I'm in the cut. I'm like just watching to see who goes next after me. I'm just watching to see who goes next after me. I'm in the cut, and I'm in the cut, and the minute I saw her go up there, and I saw who it was too. I saw it was Mina's cousin. I was like, ooh, she's gonna get mad. Yo. Yeah, she screamed. I don't remember what happened. I think I got in trouble. I think I got in trouble for it. I don't remember. It was too good of a moment to pass up, and it made you think like, why didn't I think of that sooner? Yo, special guest Jeff Goldblum in the building. Yeah, man, we got the role model over here, Goldblum, my dude. You gonna talk about style, man? You gonna talk about style? You can't talk about style without talking about Goldblum back there. Definitely one of the most stylish people in Hollywood. I can only hope to have a tenth of his style. Only hope. But yeah, man. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, which would probably include a lot more funny stories. But meat and potatoes, it's Ask Marv Anything Thursday. I forgot it's on Thursday now. But yeah, so, you guys can feel free to throw questions in the chat or whatnot as we go along. But I kind of just want to give a little bit of a summary of like growing up in Patterson and whatnot. I told the story many times. Jason's probably heard it too many times already at this point. But yeah, man, I'm from Patterson, New Jersey. Patterson is a city that was I guess created by Alexander Hamilton, the guy on the $10 bill, the guy that has a Broadway play based on him. That's like a hip hop play, and he came to Patterson and he saw the Great Falls. The Great Falls are the biggest waterfalls in on the East Coast, I think, or the Eastern United States. They're the biggest waterfalls in the Eastern United States. They are 77 feet high. He came to Patterson, saw the falls, and he had thought of, it gave him the idea to create a power plant. Because, back in the day, they used to get electricity through generators that would be powered by water. The mill inside of the water keeps spinning, and that would generate energy, right? So, yeah, man. So he saw that. He was like, yo, we could build a city here. We could build a city that's powered by the falls. And that's exactly what he did. So Patterson became one of the first planned industrial city in America. This is before the Industrial Revolution, right? the first plan. He didn't actualize his plans until someone else had already done it too. So someone kind of beat him to the punch, but it was his idea first to build an industrial city. He was inspired by the Industrial Revolution that was going on in Europe. So Paterson was the first planned American industrial city that was going to be run by the falls. All the power and electricity generated was going to be generated by the falls in Paterson. Alexander Hamilton is a interesting dude. I haven't seen the play. But in high school, I did look him up and research him. Like, who's this guy that created Paterson over here? Who's this guy? And apparently he died in a duel. Like, him and some other guy, they had beef, and they decided, hey, back then you could challenge people to a duel, and it was legal in the street. You could pretty much kill each other in the street back in the day. So he got challenged to a duel. I don't remember the gentleman's name. Someone that probably saw the Broadway play, since that Broadway play is pretty popular right now, probably knows it better than I do. But there was, he died in the gunfight, and apparently I don't think he even pointed his gun at the guy. I think he pointed it straight up to the sky, from what I remember. He pointed it straight up, so he had no intention of killing this guy. But the other guy definitely had every intention of killing him. Marseille says it's the biggest or second biggest in the Eastern Hemisphere. Might be. The only thing I know for sure is that it is the biggest one on the East Coast, Eastern United States. I wouldn't put it past being the biggest one in the Eastern Hemisphere in total. I just maybe I would think there would be bigger ones in South America or even Canada. Seeing that there's more woodlands over there, but could be. I would have to look that up. We got Brian Green in the house, the GOAT. Hey, brother, gonna see you tomorrow night, bro. But yeah, man. So the falls is pretty much the reason that the city I grew up in exists. And the falls was a good thing because it created a lot of opportunities for immigrant workers. Immigrant workers from back in the day. People used to come to the United States. The Irish, the Italians. A lot of people that came in through Ellis Island would settle in Paterson because of all the factories there, because there were a lot of factories that were powered by the falls. So that was just, Paterson was a worker man city. Like, if you lived in Paterson, you probably worked at one of the factories. And Paterson's called Silk City because it had a lot of silk factories. Big Daddy Alucard in the house. Big Daddy Alucard. But then, what happens in the after like World War II, right? We get this. They invent the suburbs. They invented the suburbs, right? And a lot of the people who made a lot of money in Paterson moved out to the suburbs, and a lot of the factory jobs that existed in this country got shipped overseas. I don't know if that was immediately after World War II, but over time, a lot of the factory jobs in the United States in general got sent overseas. Like, they would just pay workers in other countries to do it because they could pay them cheaper, and there's less labor laws, right? There's no unions out there, right? So when the city was thriving, you know what I mean? Before that point, after that point, during the white flight moment, I guess you can call it. The city started to suffer. Like a lot of American cities prospered during the industrial times, but then once things got sent overseas or whatnot, then they started to suffer. Yo, when's the next chip? Chip dipped on the last dab sauce. I could do the last dab sauce. I bet you I could do the last dab sauce. That one chip challenge never happening again, ever in my life. Maybe if you give me $1,000. If I get $1,000 donation right now, I'll do it. But yeah, man. All of the jobs went overseas. The city started to suffer. It became an impoverished city, like many stories of cities here in America. So come to it like, what's it called? Like I want to say maybe the 80s or the 70s. My parents had got here. I don't know the story exactly. I don't know why my parents, my grandparents settled on Paterson, New Jersey. I think it usually works where someone who moved there, said there was work and they're looking for workers, so they probably came because they had someone they already knew. Because I think that's how it worked. I think when you come from another country, my family's from Dominican Republic, right? Shout out to Trash Panda. and I don't know if he's Dominican, but it just followed perfectly after what I was saying. But yeah, man. So my parents came to Patterson with my grandparents. My parents came pretty young, so my mother came at like 9. I think my father came a little bit later, but they were here long enough that they could speak the language pretty well. My mother spoke perfect English. My father, yeah, pretty much could speak perfect English as well. He's kind of got the Antonio Banderas thing going on. My pops was like a papi chulo. My mom was like a church lady, and yeah, man. So uh how do you call it? They met at like East Side High School or something like that. Which, if you've ever seen the movie Lean on Me, the one with Morgan Freeman, that movie is about the school in Patterson, about my city, like my school. I didn't go to that school, but Steve did. I went to Kennedy, and Kennedy didn't exist until like later after that. I think a little bit after that. Uh, I did the one chip challenge, and it hurt to breathe, but I got through it because I'm snork. I do look Dominican. Yeah, looking Dominican is half the battle. But yeah, man. So my parents settled on Patterson, New Jersey. My grandparents, and I think my grandmother had like a record shop on like Broadway or whatever. And then I don't know what my father's parents did or whatever like that. But whatever. I come into the picture like 1989. I'm born. I existed after that day. February 15th, 1989. I was born around the same time where the Great Wall of Berlin fell. The Berlin Wall came down. As that wall was falling, I was rising, right? That's dope. Yo, Jeps, you think everything's dope, bro? Come on, man. Give me some critique, bro. I need constructive criticism from you, Jeps. That's all I need, bro. Don't try to be nice to me just because we're doing a more PG show over here. George Foreman in the chat. Who's George Foreman, Jeps? Who's George Foreman? You got to tell me to do better, Jeps. Do better. Anyway, 1989. I'm walking the earth. I'm a baby, and I'm doing my thing, right? Probably. I don't remember those days for some reason. For some reason, I don't remember what it was like being born. But I existed that point forward, going forward, and like, you know, going on, I didn't have a lot of talents growing up. I was just like the funny class clown kid. You can rewind this episode if you want to hear one of my antics to Mina Mendoza's cousin that I did on her, and then but I definitely liked movies. Yo, you said you got something for me tomorrow? Not tomorrow, but tomorrow we're gonna chop it up for sure. Since it's gonna be your one of your last recordings for this session, for this cycle, and you're moving on to a big step in life, my brother, with marriage. So we definitely got to chop it up on your last recording day. For now, I know you'll be back soon. The day after Valentine's, yeah, I was born the day after Valentine's Day, and how you call it? So yeah, like I went to school 5. I went to Catholic school. I went to Kennedy High School. Met a lot of the friends that I still have today. The guys half of my Wolfpack brothers, Matt and Will, went to Kennedy. DX the Great went to Kennedy. John F. Kennedy High School was a Mondo Righteous time. So the only ones of my friends that didn't go there was like Davidless went to East Side. Steve J Kid went to East Side. But a lot of my friends that I met in high school, I still hang out with them to this day. But to getting to the point. Told the whole story of Patterson just to tell my story, but William Carlos Williams did say every man is a city. But to get to the point, kind of, Patterson, it never was really had like an art scene. It never really had that while I was growing up. So like there wasn't really somewhere you could go if you were like an artsy cat, right? There was like Rosa Parks High School. Rosa Parks was a school for the arts, the gifted and talented. But I was on the other side of town. I was on the west side. That school was like on the east side. So there was no way my parents were going to drive me across town even though they did from time to time drive me across town to go to school. But by the time I got older, depending on my parents to get to school was like dependent on Santa Claus to come around Easter time. So, what got Little Marv into podcast, or who? What made you think I should do this for the rest of my life, or at least for some little time? Because you are closing a gap of 10 years soon. Yeah, man, we're coming up on 10 years soon in like 2025. It'll be 10 years in the game. So what happened? Somebody I also went to Kennedy High School with, Juan. Wait, I should actually go back a little bit more. Um, so I'm out of high school. I'm like 23, 24 maybe. I still have no goals, no idea what I'm gonna do with my life. Nothing. I got nothing. I got nothing to my name. I'm working at like a restaurant as like a bus boy. Um, I'm waking up, going to work, going back home to sleep, and then I always was into like movies. I always was into like being a movie director. So I bought like a camcorder, like a really cheap one, a really like crappy looking one too. Maybe crappier than I probably remember. Trash Panda wouldn't stop talking mid match, so he got inspired during a Smash stream. You wouldn't stop talking, Trash Panda. You stop talking from time to time. I think. I don't know. I don't know what that statement means, but it's deep. Deep. That's biblical what you just said, my friend. But yeah, man. So bought a camera and wanted to make documentaries about Patterson. You saw the whole spiel I gave you about Patterson. I wanted to do documentaries about Patterson. I still kind of do one from time to time. I kind of want to get back into doing that, but yeah. So I bought camera, started doing documentaries about Patterson, but I had them looking really cool. I had them like doing very modern things. I would put a lot of like imagery that would not go fly for the content I do today, because I wanted to make it more urban and edgy. I didn't want it to be a PBS show or something I read off Wikipedia. It had to have style. It had to have edginess to it. So I did that. Yeah, and it was fun. It was definitely fun. Deep Thoughts by Trash Panda. I see the show now. Oh, those are those YouTube videos. I've seen the first video that you got you into this. So partially. So I did that. And then I ran into like Juan at Walmart. Walmart changed the trajectory of our lives that day, man. Shout out to Walmart. Juan Perez. You can look him on Instagram. He's Juan the Engineer now. He was a rapper, and he was like, yo, I saw your video, your documentary about Patterson, bro. I kind of want to make music for your documentary. And I was like, that's dope, man. Yeah, let's make a music video too, and we'll drop it in the doc and somewhere in the middle or whatever. So he was like, yeah, I'm down. I was like, all right, coolio, Julio. So we went to high school together, but we hadn't seen each other in a couple years until we saw each other at Walmart. And then I was recording a music video for him, but I was like, I made it all weird because I wanted to do like 3 music videos at once, just one verse from each song and whatnot, right? Because I can't just do it the normal way. I can't do it like a regular guy. I got to do it cool. Like Jeff Goldblum would do it, right? So, how you call it? We met up, did that, and then we were like, "Yo, we should get a spot in the art factory, get an office in there. That way we could be part of that art community, because the art factory is a fairly recent thing in Patterson, where it's an art community. They rent offices to artists, to painters, musicians, anyone in the arts. It's a fairly new thing." Especially around the time when me and Juan started connecting, and then he was like, "That's cool. I mean, I could rap in there, but what else we're gonna do in there? We got to make money. We got to turn it into a business." So Juan came up with the idea of starting a radio station. That was all Juan's idea. He completely came up with that. I just was gonna do videos. Actually, I didn't even know what I was gonna do in there. I just wanted to be part of the art community in Patterson. I wanted to be part of the art scene badly. So he was like, yo, I feel like I should do a radio station. And I was like, dope, man, that's dope. Like, that's a pretty cool idea. I mean, but I had my doubts, because I was like, yo, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, that's cool, but who listens to radio anymore? This is already like 2012, 2013. I was like, dude, nobody listens to the radio anymore. But I was supportive, but he was giving me the spiel about how it works, or like where it would be broadcasting. And I was like, yeah, I guess we could try it out, because I hadn't listened to the radio. I had an MP3 player. I had an iPhone, iPod, whatever. I was like, who's going to listen to the radio? But That's where he's smarter than me. That's where he's is more future sighted than I am, for sure. Because his idea is this everything you see around me. That was his idea. He came up with the whole thing. Um, I guess my part that I played is in refining it and kind of making it more into a business. Cause yeah, man, he wanted a radio station, but it became a podcasting studio. Other people, he started his radio show, which was really a podcast if you really think about it, where he would interview artists, up and coming rap artists, hip hop artists or whatnot, right? And he was a genius. Juan is a genius. Probably still is a genius. Probably always will be a genius. He came up with the idea where when they're interviewing somebody, let's make it like an adventure where we're going like to another planet, or if we're interviewing somebody called 100 grand, we're gonna break into a bank and try to steal 100 grand. He'd have the sound effects. He'd have the music. He had one episode where he did the Compton special when he went to like a sewer because they were coming out of the bank. It was like a part two to the bank robbery. And then he came out the sewer and he found out he was in Compton. And it was like, this man is a genius with this jazz. Genius. Absolute genius. And we're still in Patterson, man. Remember, we're just two Patterson boys trying to get into the art scene or whatever. Absolute genius Juan is. Absolute, cannot say it enough. So the art factory thing didn't work out. We didn't have the money, it was too expensive, blah blah blah. He started doing the radio station thing at his house, but eventually when I got some more money together, I started making more money. I got a studio space for photography and for videos, but realistically I wanted to use it to make YouTube videos. I just didn't tell the landlord that. I was like, yeah, it's for photography. I'm taking pictures of people's families, weddings, passports. Lies. I was doing it to create Villainy Games YouTube channel. That was the layer. I did not want to tell my landlord, hey, yeah, I'm going to be in here playing video games with my boys and put it on YouTube. I don't think he would have let me have that room. But so yeah, so I got the space and I was like, hey guy, I got a space in on the island is what we called it. It was cheaper than the art factory and it had it was kind of more something we had to ourselves. But he came along. He brought the radio station to the island, to the stew. We shared a room together, which was like a 25 by 11 room, which was huge. We were paying like $500 a month for it, which is nothing now. And you know what I mean? I dream of my rent being $500 a month. Oh my God, imagine. But then he got his own room next to me because it was a whole bunch of rooms, a whole bunch of spaces. He got his space. He did his thing because I ain't gonna lie. Some of the guests that he brought into the studio, I was always a little suspect of. I was like, I don't know if I trust him being alone with rappers bringing an entourage to the studio. I wasn't too fond of it, honestly, because I had so much equipment there. I had so much stuff there that I was like, I hope he's okay. Like it was him by himself, and then a rapper that would bring 20 people with them to the studio. But then he got his own space, which worked out better for both of us. And people started to reach out to him saying, hey, can I record my podcast at your studio? The Darken Hour came to him. The Roll Point podcast, shout out to Derek. The Happy Hour girls. Who was the other one? Happy Hour, Darken Hour, Roll Point. I guess I was one of them. I was doing the Villainy Games podcast. Shout out to the People versus Villainy Games. That was best days of my life right there, for sure. Then he created a wrestling podcast called the Over the Top Rope Podcast, which I think Commissioner Kelvin remembers probably pretty well. He was the commissioner of that podcast. Still is the commissioner. This is 2016. And then we were too young and having too much fun, and we got kicked off that island. Our landlord was like, I don't want you guys back. You guys are here till like midnight every night. People are smoking. People are drinking. I don't want that here. The city says you got to close down around 7. So at 7 o'clock, you guys have to leave. And they were like, what? Most of our business is after 7. So whatever, man. So we teamed up. Juan's like, dude, let's put our efforts together again. And how about you become my business partner with this podcasting studio, Jazz? And shout out to Juan. Yo, King Lex is in the build. I need a sound effect for whenever King Lex comes in. Like, here comes the king. King Lex, what's up to you, brother? Our episode is dropping this Saturday, man. I hope you're hyped for it, man. But yeah, guys. So Juan and me, we moved to Clifton, to King Lex's kingdom. We were humble servants of the king over there, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what got me into podcasting. Podcasting was not my first love. My first love was film, but Juan coming up with the radio station idea is what got me into podcasting. And whenever someone wants to ask me, how'd you come up with this? How'd you create this? What gave you the idea? I always give Juan the credit. I never say, hey, I'm the creator of Bravery Studios. I'm not the creator of Bravery Studios. I'm not the creator of Speak Your Mind Radio. I'm not. I am the current owner, but I am not the creator of Bravery Studios. And I didn't come up with the idea of creating a podcast studio or a radio station or none of that jazz. I can't take any credit for that. Oh, Gunner's in the house. How you been, bro? Unlucky. How you doing, bro? What's new, man? Long time no talk. Happy Thursday, bro. A lot of the Twitch homies are coming over to YouTube, and it's crazy because I remember when I created the Twitch, and I was like, hey, you Twitch guys, you YouTube guys got to come to Twitch. Everybody's coming back to YouTube now. Shout out to Unlucky, guys. Make sure you guys check out his channel. Subscribe to him. He makes great content, too. But, yeah, so Juan is the creator of the podcasting studio, the progenitor. If you guys want to check Juan's stuff out, he goes by Juan the Engineer on Instagram now. And, yeah, show him some love, man. He changed the trajectory of my life, for sure. The only thing I can say I really added to this business with my own touch is kind of just keeping things uniformed and more businessy. Because when I came into the picture, there were like 5 different mics that we used, different brands. All the chairs were different. The tables were. I kind of just uniformed the whole place. I kind of made it look like a professional environment to conduct podcasting. And I dedicated my life to it. I gave up my day job. Well, I didn't give up my day job. So what happened with that is we were already in Clifton. We were already working. One day on my lunch break, I go across the street to get some food, and a work van just comes and takes me right off the road. That work van that hit me, that crashed into me, saved my life. Yeah, saved my life. That work van that hit me absolutely saved my life. Because I was working at a factory. I was working at a sign shop, actually, an industrial job. And, you know, I'm working there. I'm like going home covered in metal dust every night. Not that it's a bad job. You appreciate what you had and what you learned there. I loved working there. I loved it. But I probably would have still been there if that work van didn't hit me and my doctor told me, hey, you can't work. You can't do heavy lifting anymore. You can't do any more heavy lifting. That was July 11th, 2017. July 11th, 2017. I got hit by a car. Yeah, that was the last time I was able to work, and I haven't had a job since. Because once the doctor told me you can't go back to work, I was like, all right, well, I got the podcast studio with Juan, so that's it, man. I'm just gonna dedicate every day of my life to it now. That's cool with me. That's cool with me. I absolutely positively gave my life to it. And I gave up everything. I had a apartment, not an apartment. I rented a room in a house. I gave up that space. I had a car. I gave up the car. I was like, I'm going to give up everything. Because for me, I was like, the only way I'm going to make this work is if I don't have any bills besides food. So I gave up having a phone. I gave up having a car. I gave up having what's it called? An apartment. I gave up everything because I was like, if I'm gonna live, uh, like if I'm gonna try to put every dollar I make into the business, then I can't be paying car insurance and car repairs and whatnot. I can't be paying a phone bill because I'm going from making I was making $20 an hour at that factory job, the industrial job, right? And now I'm going to making zero. So I had a little bit of money left in the bank, but it didn't take me too far. But I was like, if I'm gonna make this work, because I'm not stopping the podcast studio. I loved it. I was like, if I'm gonna make this work, I have to create. I have to give up everything. That way, I have zero bills. Uh, and there was some days I had to go without eating. There was a lot of days actually I had to go without eating. Shout out to King Lex, man. King Lex would be cooking it up in the kitchen over there in Clifton, and I would have to go over there and eat with him. But there was a lot of days where I'd be like starving. Like I'd be like, yo, I can't get up because I don't have any food in my system. There are a lot of starving nights. Juan used to hook it up. Juan still worked. Juan still was making money, so he'd throw me a couple bucks if I needed something to eat or whatnot. He definitely looked out for me around that period of time where I wasn't working. It probably was a lot of days of wearing the same clothes every day, probably smelling horrible, and yeah, man, that was the starving artist days. That was the starving artist days. I remember when there was like people that wanted to hang out with me, and I'm like, I don't have a penny to my name right now. Do you say it's better where you are now? Mondo better. Mondo better. Mondo better. Unlucky. Let me tell you, bro. Making money now, bro. But yeah, there was a lot of days, a lot of starving artist days. But we're out of the starving artist period. The starving artist period is over. Around like 2019, 2017, 2018, I was definitely a starving artist those years. Definitely a starving artist. We didn't sign like a single new podcast for those 2 years. 2019 came around, and I really think it had to do with Joe Rogan making the deal with Spotify and announcing that he had made millions. Yeah, cup of noodle days for sure. I wouldn't call it ramen days because people would think I'm eating at like Ani Ramen or something. I was at the cup of noodle every day, all day. Cup of noodle every day. Actually, my dinner sometimes I'd buy like the ripoff of Chef Boyardee, which is just like, I think it would just say spaghetti on it. I would go to like, it's funny a la carte because a lot of when I was on like villainy games, I would be starving on those streams with nothing to eat. Thank God my Twitch channel picked up and I used to get donations once in a blue, or I used to get pizza donations. I had people like, I had a treat stream link where they could send me a pizza. But yeah, man, a lot of those streams where I'm there, I'm yelling at the top of my lungs, I'd actually be starving to death during those days. I would be starving to death. And I wouldn't say anything about it. I wouldn't say anything. But you know what? There were like streams where I'd put like the title to be donate some bucks so I can eat today, and try to make it like a LOL at the end to make it look like I was just joking about it, but I was dead serious. I could buy you a pizza. I don't need it anymore, guys. I am in a much better place. Don't get it twisted. I am on a much better. Yeah, Jeps. I used to be yelling on an empty stomach in there for sure. For sure. The Villainy Games days, I was definitely a starving artist. But we're not there anymore, guys. So don't mistake that. We're doing great now. I mean, look where we're at. You know what I mean? Look at the rise, the difference. But there was definitely a lot of hungry days over there. Yo, I got you stuff when I feel blessed. Yeah, man. No, you looked out. All you guys looked out. Everybody that used to come around and watch the streams, you guys definitely hooked it up. Yeah, Scarlett definitely with the empanadas. Listen, we're not starving artists today, so don't get it twisted, guys. We're not the starving artists anymore. But yeah, those days were rough. Those were some rough days. 2017, 2018, 2019, we started making real money. We started signing a lot of new podcasts. We signed like 20 podcasts that year to the studio. 20 podcasts to the studio. And everything changed. Juan wanted to go off and do other things. I think he wanted to be a wrestler. He went and did that. I don't know what happened with that. I think medically the doctor told him he couldn't do it anymore. So I think that put an end to that. But I wanted to stay with the studio. I was like, nah, I love this. I love doing this. And look, the minute 2019 rolled around, it became a real business. We started making real money. Yo. Yeah. And I appreciate that, Alucard, and I appreciate that, Scarlett. Listen, guys, no sad charity cases anymore. We are in a awesome place right now. Listen, I'm making more money than I ever made in my life right now. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. My belly's pretty full right now. But yeah, those were the starving artist days. 2017, 2018 were definitely kind of rough. But like I said, Juan looked out for me, helped me out from time to time when he could. It wasn't like he was in a super good place either financially. He got there eventually. But King Lex, like I said, I was in a community. I was in a building with a whole bunch of other artists. So, King Lex would hook it up like, yo, come on, let's go get some food. Let's go to the diner. Let's go to Lexington Diner over there. I remember one year for Jimmy's birthday, we all went to Lexington Diner. I had a great time there. Everyone making cash nowadays. Yeah, we're doing great, man. We're doing great, Bravehearts. Trust me. This is the best we've ever done before. But those were some rough days. But overall, like I said, 2019 rolled around. We signed 20 podcasts that year to memberships. Most of them are still here recording with us to this day. And we're doing great. And pretty much that's like a abridged version of the story of how I got to where I am today, right? That's the abridged story. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I mean, let me know if you have any questions. It is AMA Thursday. Ask Marv anything. Shout out to all you guys watching. If this is your first time watching, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Give the video a thumbs up, guys. We got 7 viewers. Can we get this video to 7 likes? Let's see if we can get to 7 likes. So we have 7 people watching live now. And we are at 234 subscribers. The goal is 500 by the end of the year. So we have 2 months in. Let's get to 500 subscribers, guys. Spread the word. Tell other podcasters, hey, there's this podcast guy who teaches people how to podcast like a guy. Not like a guy. There's just this podcast guy. Go check him out. Go subscribe. He gives tips. We got 9 likes. Do we really? Maybe I should refresh. Let me refresh the video. Yeah, Gunner is right. My mistake, Bravehearts. My mistake. My mistake. I don't know why I doubted you. Don't worry, I'll ban whoever doesn't give a like. But yeah, are you a mod? Did I mod you or not? I think you are a mod, right? Can I mod you from my phone or not? Probably not. I don't know. But yeah, Bravehearts, thanks for kicking it with me. Thanks for kicking it with me, Bravehearts. It's a great stream. There's this guy who has a podcast that does podcast advice. Yeah, there you go. That sounds better. Looks like Mental Health Day. Is today Mental Health Day? Let me check. It's the Yo, Siri, is today Mental Health Day?
Here's an answer from Wikipedia. World Mental Health Day, October 10th, is an international day for global mental health education, awareness, and advocacy against social stigma.
Thank you. So I think yesterday was no, that was last week. What'd she say? October 10th? I think we missed it by a week. But yeah, Bravehearts, take care of your mental health. Make sure you guys make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health and your mental strength too, man. I think that in my own way, I do suffer from some rough days, and I try to build like a muscle. I got like flexing in my brain, like hey, and in my soul, like hey, I gotta get through this jazz. You 10 days behind. In these times, every day is a mental health day. Yeah, bingo, absolutely, bingo, absolutely. Heart you, man. Heart you too, man. Yeah, I heart everybody in this chat. Shout out to Brian. Shout out to Alucard. Shout out to Jeps. Shout out to Unlucky. Thank you for coming by. You guys could have been anywhere in this world, but you're kicking it with me. Shout out to Trash Panda. Armando, appreciate that. Shout out to Commissioner Kelvin, and shout out to Jason Enrique. Shout out to Jeff Goldblum. And yeah, guys, I think that's all we got for today. You know, you guys already know the butt must be soft before you eat it raw. Yeah, true. On avocados. Yeah. Today's my mental health day, actually. Therapy sessions every Thursday and no work. Hey, yeah, everybody got to have a mental health day throughout the week. Mine is Fridays. That's why I don't do the Marv in the Morning on Fridays anymore. You got to just take a day to lay in a hammock and eat grapes. Fed to you by a grizzly bear. Don't ask me how or where in this cold weather. There's a hammock that I can lay in. But once again, guys, thank you for kicking it with me. We're going to hit that old dusty trail. And I'll see you guys Monday because, you know, no Fridays on this show anymore. We got some interviews coming out. The King Lex interview is coming out this Saturday, so make sure you guys check that out. King Lex is actually the entrepreneurial spirit. Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense. King Lex is an entrepreneur. He manages the building where Bravery Studios was previously located in Clifton. Current weight loss, I gotta check. You know what? I haven't checked in like weeks. I don't know how that happened. Is the grizzly bear delicate? Yeah, he is. He is. It's the one from Tekken. But all right, Bravehearts. Catch you on Monday. Make sure you guys tune into the King Lex interview on Saturday. And above everything else, stay brave and keep on keeping on.